Yo, what it is, guys? Mooky here, and I'm back with another part of What If Izuku Had a Gundam / Gunpla Quirk. This is part 2. In the last part, I went through details on how Izuku has become that of a young pro as a Gunpla, a pilot. Not only that, I also went in on how the world of Gundam lore is basically part of the My Hero Academia world. Now, also, Izuku finally awakened his quirk, being able to transform into his Gunpla models, actually. With that, even All Might telling him that he can become a hero. So, with that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? As Izuku is finished crying on the ground, with All Might telling him that he can become a hero. But soon, Izuku composes himself and wipe away the remaining tears in his eyes, saying, "Thank you, All Might. Thank you very much. Now, I have more of a reason to join the hero course at UA." With soon, All Might saying, "You plan on taking part of the hero course? Even though you just awakened your quirk?" Saying, "Yeah, I did awaken my quirk, but that gives me just more of a reason to give it my all and train. Sure, I still have Gunpla regional and national tournaments for my junior high that's coming up, and also the yearly Tokyo tournament that's coming up in the next, 10 months or so. But all the more reason to take part in, to give it my all." Saying, "If that's the case, young man, tell me, what would you think about a quirk that can be given to someone?" As Izuku hears this and was pretty skeptical, saying, "A quirk that can be given to somebody? Are you talking about," as All Might saying, "No, not by birth or anything like that. I mean physically giving a quirk to somebody." As Izuku saying, "All Might, that's literally impossible. The very concept of a quirk being given to somebody that wasn't born with is just never heard of." As soon, All Might saying, "Well, actually, that's what my quirk is capable of." As soon, All Might began explaining everything about One for All, on how it passes from person to person, getting stronger with each person, and then becoming what it is today, One for All. As Izuku is shocked, surprised, and just can't believe what he's hearing at all, with soon All Might asking if Izuku would want One for All. As soon, Izuku was smiling, but also he took a deep breath and began thinking, "Honestly, All Might, personally, I think I would want that quirk if I didn't awaken my own just a couple hours ago. So for that, I'm gonna have to decline." Saying, "Are you serious? You really don't? But knowing you, you'll find a better successor one day. As for me, I want to try and get stronger with my quirk, my new quirk. So until then, may we meet again." As Izuku bows in front of the number one hero and his idol. Soon, All Might ask, "Wait, young Midoriya, if that's the case, allow me to help you train your quirk for the 10 months until UA's entrance exam." Saying, "Oh, really? I appreciate that. Well, I'll help you train. I'll also find my own successor at UA as well. I hope that you don't mind." Saying, "Of course. After all, I need to figure out what my quirk is able to do tomorrow, after I leave from school anyway." With soon, Izuku leaving from his idol, and All Might saying, "It's a shame that I couldn't give Midoriya my quirk. A truly shame. But no matter. I know what he's truly capable of, and I look forward to what he can do in the future. Not just as Japan's number one Gunpla champion, but also as a hero, a pro hero as well." But soon, everyone saw the coverage of what happened with the sludge villain attack the next day, with everybody coming to Izuku, asking is this really his quirk? And did he really awaken it? As Izuku saying, yeah, this is his quirk. As he has no idea how he activated it in any way. As he tried doing it on the way to school, but he just didn't know how. As soon, Bakugo looking at everybody gathering around Izuku, within Bakugo just scoffing off. As for Izuku, as the day ended, he went to his Gunpla club. Soon his club mates all gather around, with soon a guy with black hair saying, Izuku, how the hell did you just get a quirk? I thought you were quirkless. As soon saying, Jin, calm down, please. As a girl with blonde hair began asking, your quirk allows you to turn into one of your models, if I recall. Wasn't that your 7 Sword 00 custom? As saying, yeah, it was. I was surprised too. With a few other members began asking questions to the green-haired teen, as he just tried his best. As before he awakened his quirk, he felt like a jolt of lightning just go through his body for a split second, and then all he wanted was to protect Bakugo, and then he transformed in a way, as he wore like a suit of armor like his Gunpla model. With that, soon, Jin saying, if that's your quirk allows you to turn into your models. Actually, if that's the case, is he saying, bring out one of your models, as saying, sure. As he brings out his Omega Gundam, and then lay it on the table, saying, think of your model, actually, think of it as entirely all its features and everything that you added to it. As soon saying, Jin, are you sure? Just do it, Midoriya. Saying, okay, I'll do it. As he soon thinks of his Omega Gundam and everything about it, and soon he transforms into his Omega Gundam as it's around his body. As everyone in the club room began to get excited and were also hyped seeing this. As and in his right hand, he has that of a GM spear, with soon saying, whoa, so I really did do it. Within soon, Suzuya saying, how did you find that out, Jin? Saying, it's only natural. When I saw the video coverage, I saw that he was in his Exodus Gundam. Not only that, a light shined around his body. First, it was in his bag. Then it focused around Midoriya. So I figured he has to think about one of his models in extreme detail to actually use it. As soon as you can say, this is awesome. But as soon Jin saying, so why don't you take it off? As Izuku saying, yeah, about that, I don't know how. As then Suzuki saying, seriously? Way to go, Jin. Saying, hey, I was just trying to help. Don't need to hit me upside the head for that. 30 minutes later, Izuku went back to normal. As soon Izuku saying, okay, well, I'm back to normal. So, as then he brings out one of his notebooks and then muttering to himself about details about his quirk. With soon realizing that 30 minutes he goes back to his normal form, as he soon begins to estimate everything that he does with it. With soon everyone begins getting annoyed at the muttering Izuku. With that time spent in the club room, Izuku heads to the hospital to see about his quirk, as they did tons of tests and told him on what his quirk is truly able to do. With soon, they finally gave a name for Izuku's quirk, being Gunpla Unity, as he's able to become one with his Gunpla model if he has a strong connection to it, and if he's able to imagine and see it and focus on it. If he's not able to focus good enough, then he can't transform properly. Not only that, they found out on how long his transformations last. When he fully transforms into his Gunpla model, he's able to be in that form for at least 30 minutes. Not only that, if he focuses on one piece of his body, being like his arm or any of his leg or back, then he's able to that's able to last for at least an hour. Or he focuses on a small portion of his body, being like just a hand or a leg, or possibly just his head, then it's at least 2 hours. Not only that, he was even able to figure out how to turn it off and on. With that, he's now able to fully get a handle of his quirk. Now that's left is to get the handle of all his Gunpla models, features, weapons, and skills, which is easier said than done, as he's made basically most of his models undeniably powerful as hell. And personally, he doesn't know if his human body is able to handle any of that. However, thanks to All Might's training, with his successor being Mirio Togeda, and yes, Mirio's gonna have one for all. It just makes sense and everything. So yeah. As for Izuku's training, getting the hang of his Gunpla's features, it takes a while at first, as all of his weapons do have that of a, kickback after all. Especially when he first uses the Omega Gundam first, after all. With all of its weaponry based off of, anti-battleship weaponry, such as its Mega Cannon Blaster, for example, and also its GN, Spear, which has a GN high powerful blast. Not only that, its most powerful, aspect of the, Gunpla is its hull unit, being a portable mobile armor with multiple gun ports actually a part of it, which actually halfly vaporizes the ocean at Dagobah Beach for a small time actually. However, using all these units, these abilities and skills actually take up a lot of energy, and also physically drains Izuku as well. So he has to use these sparingly and also costly as well. As for other things, as his Gunpla model being the Gundam Exia, he has a more easier time with that unit than he does with his other ones. Even though it's not really his strongest model, he's able to get a handle of it mostly due to the light armor on it. Even though the avalanche unit on its back with all the swords on it, it's still able to move just as fast as his most fastest Gunpla model, being the Cosmic Star Gundam, as it's literally his fastest model, especially with the Meteor Hopper being the one-wheeled motorcycle that he's able to ride on actually, which is a lot of fun for him. And not only that, he also enjoys being on it because of the thruster pack on it, allowing him to fly a lot more longer than he would as his other models, really. But he is able to hover in the air for a pretty long period of time, actually. So no limit about that. However, there is one Gunpla model that he prefers not to transform into, that being the Grand Arc Gundam, actually. With it being his most powerful, beam-based Gundam, actually. With having a high output of speed, power, and strength behind such a model. He prefers not to use its most powerful weapon, being the twin photon satellite cannons on its back, which literally destroy anything in its path. So he rarely doesn't like to use it unless it's truly necessary. However, he does like to transform into it, mostly when he uses its wings though, as the energy comes off of them almost makes him look, somewhat majestic, as All Might and Mirio said. when he's flying in the air using them to increase his speed and everything. With that, Izuku seems somewhat ready for the UA entrance exam. However, he still had to deal with the regional and national tournaments for his junior high's Gunpla club, which he does pretty damn well in, actually, and was actually one of the best tournaments of his time, especially the national tournament when he fought against Toru again. And this time, she actually beat him for once. It's mostly due to him, well, not training as much with his models and mostly training with his quirk, which Toru actually knew about this and took advantage of it so she could beat her one true rival and the boy she likes, after all. Now there was only two things left for Izuku to do. That was the yearly Tokyo tournament and the UA entrance exam, which first came up was the UA entrance exam. As Izuku is standing in front of UA, as soon he also remembers the flashback, as he's soon saying, "So, All Might, is it possible that?" Saying, "I remember saying that you had a recommendation for UA due to its Gunpla course. They'll still let you in for that, but are you sure you want to take the entrance exam? I mean, you'll probably get some other chances to get into the hero course." Saying, "I still want to become a hero, and I want to prove that I can become a hero. And I also want to become part of the Gunpla course as well. So first I need to pass the entrance exam for the hero course, and then I need to speak with the principal of UA afterwards. I figured that they'll probably have some questions for me, even though I was already able to get into the school, but mostly by recommendation for another course." As then Mirio actually smiling at this, saying, "Midoriya, I look forward to what you were able to do in the entrance exam, actually. More than anything, I'm actually hyped to see you in two courses at the same time. Besides, I'm not just a big fan of being a hero. I'm also a fan of yours too. I know you're quite strong. So, I hope one day you and I can actually have a proper Gunpla battle." As then Izuku can help but smile as he soon comes out of that memory. As soon he thinks to himself, "I will face against you one day, Togata-senpai, not just in Gunpla, but also as a hero." Within soon, Bakugo soon noticed Izuku saying, "Deku, what the hell you think you're doing here?" As Izuku saying, "Hey, Kachan, so did you not know that I plan on taking the entrance exam, or did you forget about that?" Saying, "Just stay out the hell of my way. I trained with my quirk better than you could, since you just got yours about a year ago." Is then Izuku saying, Don't underestimate me, Kachan. I have gotten a lot more stronger than I did before." As in his bag, he has all of his models inside. But soon, he feels somebody tackling from behind as he gets surprised and shocked as he soon hears the voice saying, "Hi, Izuku," as he recognizes it being Toru, saying, "Toru, why the heck are you tackling me?" As he actually is blushing from the invisible girl tackling him, with her basically saying, "What, I just wanted to surprise you. Also, you really plan on going to the hero course? I mean, I heard about your quirk and all, but still, are you sure you're able to handle it?" Saying, "Well, I sure have a better chance than you, that's for sure." As he says this with that of a cocky smile, but soon saying, "Oh, you?" With her basically hitting Izuku on the shoulder over and over again. With Izuku saying, okay, I'm sorry. As the two began walking, Izuku actually wanted to ask Toru about why she wanted to join the hero course, even though she was just as good as he was. As soon he remembered their conversation about a couple months back when they were hanging out together. As she soon, as she's hearing this memory, she's saying, oh, because I prefer wanting to help people more than just wanting to become famous through Gunpla battling. As soon, he's saying, are you sure? I mean, her quirk is cool and all. You being invisible, you could, you're pretty good with stealth missions, to be honest. But when it comes to battles that involve like full-out brawls, as soon Toru saying, I'm more of a liability. I get it. But, to be honest, I still want to try and help people whenever I can. It's just what a hero wants to do. And it's what I want to do. So, and besides, you're the one who inspired me to try and become something more than just a battler. As Izuku hears this and begins blushing, saying, oh, really? I'm surprised. I thought I only inspired people to wanting to beat me instead. Saying, oh, have more confidence in yourself, Izuku. As Izuku saying, yeah, sure. After this, Toru began smiling, even though Izuku couldn't see it. As she soon thinks, I plan on becoming a hero just like you. I know that you still want to become one, but I'll live your dream for you, and I'll help you. As soon Izuku gets out of his memory with that, as for Toru, she still wants to become a hero for Izuku, but she still wants to become a hero just so she can inspire others as well, just as he inspired her. A couple minutes later, as Izuku makes it to the entrance, one of the faculty members asks to look into Izuku's bag. As he soon looks inside, saying, Gunpla models. As he begins saying to Izuku, kid, are you here for the Gunpla entrance exam? I mean, that isn't until tomorrow. It's saying, no, I'm here for I'm here for the hero course exam. Saying, then you shouldn't have these models here. If you plan on having a battle right after or have something important to do, why don't you, I'll take as soon Izuku saying, no, they're part of my quirk actually. So I need them with me. As soon, guys thinking, okay, whatever. Just make sure you keep them in track and you don't mess with them while people are working on their exam as well. As he's saying, yes sir, I promise. As then both Izuku and Toru walked away, with Toru thinking, man, that guy's a jerk. Saying, tell me about it. But he was just only being safe. It's only natural. With Toru saying, sure, guess it makes sense. You're too easily forgiving. As Izuku saying, yeah, I get that a lot. It's what I expect from you, Mr. Kira Yamato. As Izuku gets embarrassed hearing that, saying, will you stop calling me that? I am not Kira Yamato. As Izuku says this, but blushing, and that of annoyed as well. With Toru nothing but laughing at the green-haired teen, messing with him. With soon, the two began their written exam, with Izuku basically taking care of it easily with flying colors, actually. And also, all that was left was to go to the auditorium to get intel on the practical portion of the exam. With soon, Izuku was one of the first to be in the auditorium. However, dozens of other people began showing up as well, with soon the entire place being packed. As for Izuku saying, wow, this is surprising, within the person on his left saying, it looks like you got in here, Deku, as he soon jumps out saying, Kachan! Great. I just had to be around the explosion asshole. As Izuku says this quietly, with Bakugo not even hearing it, but surprisingly he did, but trying to hold back his anger, as he didn't want to explode Izuku, at least not yet by any chance. With soon, the lights began going dim, as they then seen a man with that of somewhat of a black uniform, with that of spiky blonde hair, pretty gelled out actually, and sunglasses, as he soon says, yo, how you all doing? You all ready for the entrance exam, everyone? As soon, everyone just being pretty quiet. As Izuku realized that the person that was there being the pro hero, President Mike. As Izuku wanted to fanboy and geek out over the voice hero himself, but soon President Mike began giving out details and began explaining the entrance exam actually. With that, he also began showing tons of the robots that they'll be fighting against, being villain robots, as they range from 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point. Within, soon, a tall boy with blue hair and glasses began standing up, as he seemed somewhat dissatisfied about President Mike not explaining about the fourth robot. As soon, Izuku gets somewhat annoyed at this, with him thinking he was about to say something. If you just give him the time and patience, and then points at Izuku. As soon he begins saying, you've been muttering this entire time. Might have been distracting everybody else here. If you're not going to take this seriously, then leave. As soon, a couple people began laughing, as Izuku gets somewhat annoyed at this. But then President Mike actually getting everyone else's attention, saying, all right, settle down. As I was about to explain, it turns out the fourth robot is more of an obstacle. You're not going, even if you take it down, you wouldn't gain any points. However, it's more of an obstacle you should run away from instead. As soon, Ida seemed satisfied with the answer and taking a seat. Within, President Mike begins going over other details about this. And then everybody soon getting on some training clothes and began taking bus to multiple practice areas, being a city landscape. Within, Izuku basically wanting to calm himself as he begins thinking, I didn't see Tora on the bus. I'm guessing she must be at a different practice site. Man, I really hope that entire year of training and trying to get the handle of my model transformations were worth it. As soon he takes off his bag and sees which model he should probably go with. As soon he looks at one of his oldest models as being his first one, the Mystic Gundam, as he soon takes a deep breath and smiles, saying, even though I haven't used you in battle in a long time, you become somewhat of a good luck charm to me. So, for this, just like our first true battle together, I hope that you become my charm to get into UA as well. So please help me, partner, one last time. As everybody begins rushing through the gates, within, Izuku saying, it's time. Let's go. As then he begins to glow and shine, as his body begins as around his body he begins feeling like he's wrapped in armor, as he turned into his Mystic Gundam, saying, this exam was only going to last for at least 20 minutes, so I got at least 30 minutes of transformation time. So let's do this. Soon, he revs his GN drive engine on his back and then begins to fly right through the gate as fast as he can, and then bringing out his twin swords, being bailiff swords. As soon he sees tons of other robots being destroyed while flying through the air, he then sees other robots that are actually free for the picking, as he soon destroys them easily, and then destroys other ones pretty easily as well, with multiple robots being taken down by the Gunpla armored team. As then he sees tons of other participants struggling against the robots, as he soon brings out his beam rifle and then shoots at the robots who are about to attack a couple other participants, as he does this over and over and over again. As soon he gets thinking, This is way too easy. I mean, these robots seem strong to normal people, but I have all the strength and power of all of my Gunplas all by my side. So if anything, this is basically too easy for me. As then, he springs out one of his swords again, and then slices at a three-pointer that was coming right at him. As currently, his total of points being at least 26. As he thinks, I still got plenty of time. As he continues racking up points and points over and over again, with destroying at least 5 1-points, 6 2-points, and 3 3-pointers, with then taking out, and then his last one being another 3-pointer, ranking that to at least 4, to now 4. Putting that all together, he now at least has 55 points, with soon Izuku thinking to himself, I think that's plenty for now. I should probably head back. I mean, I doubt I gotta leave some for others after all, and I'm not trying to get the highest points in the entrance exam. Soon he was about to transform as he removes his helmet, as he removes his head. As soon he begins hearing something coming, but then putting back his head back on with the unicorn Gundam, with then thinking, great, what now? As soon everybody begins running away, as soon he begins to see the 0-pointer, as soon Izuku began getting freaked out, thinking, this is insane! Why the hell would they? You know what? I shouldn't be asking stupid questions. This must be the 0-pointer that we're supposed to run from. It seems pretty strong, but I think I could take it. But I shouldn't risk anything in case I can't. Soon, Izuku was about to run back to the entrance until he hears a girl screaming for help. As soon he sees a brunette-haired girl trapped under some debris, while the 0-pointer becomes getting close to her slowly. As soon, Izuku began thinking, I can't do this again. I can't. I mean, when I did it before to save Kachan, I almost died if I didn't awaken my Quirk. But as soon he thinks, as he clenches his fist, saying, but I'm not what I used to be before. I now have a Quirk. I now have power, and I'm now closer to my Gunpla than I was before. As soon he activates his GN drive once more, and then screams out, Transam! As soon he begins to transform into the unicorn's new type destroyer mode. As soon, now he truly looks majestic, especially with his beam cloak cape on his back flowing through the wind. As soon, he was already close to the brunette-haired girl. As she sees Izuku, she couldn't help but say, a Gundam? As then, he removes the debris like it was nothing, and then he grabs her as she begins being kind of confused about why is this, human-sized Gundam carrying her. As then, he rushes back to the exit like it was nothing. When the 0-pointer was about to hit them, Izuku was able to dodge like it was nothing, mostly thanks to Transam and the boost of the new type destroyer system as well. As soon everybody sees that of Izuku in his Mystic Gundam form, as even Ida was shocked to see this as well. But soon Izuku laying her down on the ground easily, and then also standing up as well. Within him removing his head, the Unicorn Gundam head, while still in Transam. It's as his hair becomes somewhat again standing up a little bit, while red aura is around his head as well, saying, "Are you okay?" With her actually blushing, seeing Izuku, saying, "Yeah, I'm fine, thank you." is soon the time begins ending with everyone seeing Izuku, as one of them noticed, "Wait, you're Midoriya, aren't you?" As Izuku saying, "Oh crap, someone noticed me." With another one saying, "Yeah, you're the Tokyo champion, 2 years running. You're taking part in the entrance exam?" As one of them saying, "Dude, I thought for sure he would probably go to the Gunpla course of all things. He's so talented." And then another one saying, "But look at that suit of armor. Is that a support item? Or it's the shape, it looks like the shape of a Gundam, especially the unicorn and other Gundam's parts as well." As Izuku couldn't help but sigh a little bit. As then soon Ida thinking, "When I first saw him in the auditorium, I thought he was a person that wasn't taking this seriously. But then, as soon he thinks to himself, he saved that girl while also asking if she was okay. To be honest, he is truly worthy of being a hero. And I criticize him for it." Would soon the tall boy began crying, as then a small old woman began basically saying that everyone did pretty well for themselves, as she soon walks over to the brunette-haired girl and actually kisses her leg, as soon she's actually a lot more better than she was before, with her saying, "My sprained ankle, it's better now." As Izuku saying, "Ah, that's good." As then he goes back to normal, which soon he has his Mystic Gundam in his hand, and then puts it back in his bag, as he thinks, "I guess it would have been a little bit overboard using these guys all the time. I think Mystic was all I needed. Thanks, buddy, as always." After that, Izuku planned on leaving the entrance exam, and that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to read them. Also, like and subscribe, which really helps out the channel a lot. And hit that bell notification to keep up to date with my videos, due to YouTube not really telling people when I upload. Also, check out my Discord and my gaming channel. Their links would be in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Mooky, signing out. Later, guys.